So I'm here with Scott Swift. I'm Hans Stokes. I'm their perennial plug grower. Today we're going to go over our new perennials, herbs, and edibles for 2019 from Swift Greenhouses. Again, blooming in a pot. The presentation will start off with 50 plugs, and then we'll kind of progress into our 275 additions that we added this year. So I'm going to turn most of the time over to Scott Swift, who will go over those new additions, and then we'll kind of go into there. So again, we'll get started here. Again, with Chris Feifo, I've worked with him for the last 5 years. Again, any cultural questions, lighting questions, or PGR programs that you need help with, my email is here, hans@swiftgreenhouses.com. Elaine Pfeiffer has also been with Swift for over 15 years. Again, if you have any questions from the cultural standpoint of propagation material, feel free to, again, reach out to her as well. So we're here to help you in program and make sure that we have all the information you guys need. Blooming in the pot, again, these are our predictable 50 plug perennials. Again, if you follow these temperature guidelines, you can basically program your perennials to bloom in a consistent time based on the weeks. If you look in the bottom right corner of each of those photos of the phlox and the Coreopsis, if you follow those weekly schedules, you can have that blooming in 6 to 7 weeks. The phlox, 5 to 6 weeks. So again, these are our nighttime, daytime recommendations for you. Again, it works. You just follow the program and they'll be blooming in the pot for you. So I'm going to again turn the time over to Scott. This will be our new 50 plug additions, and he'll kind of go over the varieties, and then we'll talk from there. So thank you.
Good morning. This is Scott Swift, and hopefully being more knowledgeable on the many new varieties that we've added this year. We did add over 100 varieties, and I will not be covering every one. We don't have enough time for that. I'm going to try to keep it to 30 minutes total, or a little bit over that. But I will be covering a lot of the key varieties that I feel are most important. And the weeks to bloom, which Hans talked about, which are up on the screen now, that is also on each of our potted lists for we do 1,000 varieties of perennials, and 600 of them have weeks to bloom. So that's a very valuable tool for your wholesale and retail perennial people trying to schedule varieties to bloom. So something that I believe is unique and only from Swift. On the Agastache, we've added 2 varieties from Terra Nova. Agastache Kudos Red, which supplements the other 3 varieties of Agastache Kudos we do from Terra Nova, and Morello, which is a little bit taller, not quite a true red, but a very nice color, bright pink color that blooms in just 7 to 8 weeks. Perennial plant of the year last year was Allium Millennium. It's new for us this year. This plant is a great excuse to have your customers get their order in early, because we will be running out of this in September. So a great excuse to have your customers pre-book their orders as soon as possible. Also notice the light bulb in the lower left-hand corner. Today we will have the light bulb for varieties that require warm nights and long days to grow the best. And this is also on our variety price list that you will see. All items marked that have the light bulb require warm temperatures. Anemone Harmony Double Series, both blue and scarlet, are from seed and new this year. Bloom very early and seem to be a very a good quart item that bloom in just 6 to 7 weeks. New from Darwin Perennials, a couple of pastel colors, Daydream and Sweet Dreams in the Dreameria series. This is a Zone 6 Armeria, so for anyone in the Zone 6 or warmer, should be a nice new addition from Darwin Perennials. New for us this year for must-have perennials, we've just recently taken them on as a breeder, is Centura Amethyst and Snow, a very unique color. This is a very, probably not for quarts, but for 6-inch or gallons, a very good perennial. Also, Chalone Obliqua Tiny Tortuga is a dwarf Chalone, sure to be very popular, Zone 4 on the Chalone. We've also added Chrysanthemum Mammoth Mum series, also known as the mums from Minnesota. These are actually true hardy garden mums, not just garden mums, hardy to Zone 3 in 3 popular colors. So already getting quite a few orders in for these 3 varieties. Clematis, we've added Helios Aztec, which replaces Radar Love, which the seed is no longer available. It has a nice bright blue eye. Also Clematis ragucci, a zone 5 really neat bell-shaped clematis that blooms very regularly in the pot, usually in 8 to 10 weeks. A couple of new Coreopsis varieties. One from Terra Nova is Firefly. This is a zone 5, but it's a very nice red eye on a medium-sized plant. And from seed, Coreopsis Double the Sun, a very early blooming, great for quarts or gallons, zone 4 Coreopsis from seed, also available in 275 plugs. Leading Lady Sophia von Fletcher has wrote many times about this being one of the best garden performers. It's from Doom and Orange. It's available this year from us, and also a new addition in the Little Bang series, Enchanted Eve. Enchanted Eve is a very vigorous, small but vigorous, very heavy flowering Coreopsis variety. I think you will be very impressed with that, and the blooms it produces from 50 plugs blooms in just 8 to 9 weeks. Crazy Cayenne and Curry Up are two new additions from Walters Gardens. We added Walters Gardens as a plant supplier last year for new varieties, and we've added more from many of their great varieties. The Curry Up has a very unique dark red eye in the center that makes it very, very attractive. New from Darwin Perennials, Coreopsis Super Star is probably the biggest Coreopsis bloom that I've seen. It's very big on a very short plant, sure to be popular. We've also added Coreopsis Uptick Golden Bronze to the 2 other Uptick varieties that we do from Darwin. So we have 3 Uptick varieties now available that bloom in just 8 to 9 weeks. A couple of Delospermas we've added from Plant Select. Allen's Apricot, a great Zone 4 Delosperma. Not very many Delospermas are Zone 4, so this is a good attribute for those in the northern climates. Delosperma Granita Raspberry, a very nice name and a very neat plant that comes into bloom rather early in the spring. So both good choices this year. Delosperma Orange Crush, new from Intristic Perennials. Nice orange color. Also from Plant Select, Red Mountain Flame, a little bit brighter red color that's new this year for us. That one is also Zone 4. The Delphinium Delphina series is new from S&G, and I was very impressed with these trials this year. They were wonderfully compact plants, similar in growth habit to a Magic Fountains, only they seem to bloom earlier, and the blooms seem to be even larger. So very large blooms on compact plants. They were so impressive, I added the whole series. So I would certainly try those. Are also available from 275 plugs, and they do bloom without a cold treatment, but the bloom is even more spectacular from a cold treated 50 plug. Replacing Summer Morn Delphinium is Planet Light Pink. It's a little bit taller, but a much more vigorous, stronger variety than the other pink that we did. So a great plant, hardy to Zone 4, blooms in just 8 to 9 weeks. Additions to the American Pie series, we did Georgia Peach last year, and this year we've added Bumbleberry Pie and Key Lime Pie. The Key Lime Pie is one of my favorites, a very unique colored plant that really glows. Very good early blooming plant, great for quart pots or even gallons. Blooms in just 6 to 7 weeks. A couple of new Dianthus from Florensis that were licensed through Ball Seed, Burgundy Blush and Lilac Eye. Very hardy Dianthus, hardy to Zone 3, take a note of that. And a great early bloom flush of in just 7 to 8 weeks with great color on a very hardy Dianthus. New from Darwin Perennials is the Mountain Frost series. I would compare these in size to the Tiny Rubies. Twinkle White, Rose Bouquet, and Pink Pom Pom, both 3 good additions, bloom in just 6 to 7 weeks, a Zone 5 plant. Adding to our Echinacea Double Scoop series, I believe we do Cranberry and Mandarin already. We've added the Lemon Cream, a very nice double flower Echinacea from Darwin, a great strong Echinacea series. And from Gelato, we've added Echinacea Green Twister. It's a seed variety, a very unique color, sure to be popular for collectors, and a great garden plant too. From the Sombrero series, we've added 3, bringing our colors to, I believe, 8 that we list. The Granada Gold is a new one for this year. Sangrita, which is a brighter red, similar to Salsa Red, and Tres Amigos, a 3-color plant on one plant. So unique varieties there. The Sombrero series and some of the double scoops have been featured in Better Homes and Gardens magazine. And so there will be quite a bit of publicity on those, and so we are stocking up our inventory, anticipating retailers and wholesalers ordering more of the Sombrero series. A very good hardy variety, comes back wonderfully in my gardens at home. 2 Ericium Cheiranthus, Bowls Me Away, is new from Darwin this year for us. And from the, if you need a little hardier varieties, the Zone 5 Glow series, Glow Yellow and Bright Gold, are very early blooming plants for quarts or gallons. Nagara, Belize, we've had light pink for years. We sell a tremendous amount of that. Gara, the light pink, so now we've added, we sell a tremendous amount of the dark pink, that we've had listed, and now we've added light pink. It is a Zone 5. Also, Gara Gaudy Red is 6 to 9 zone, a very red Gara, one of the reddest that I'm aware of. So both these bloom in just 7 to 8 weeks and attract butterflies. New from must-have perennials, and probably one of their best varieties, Geranium Rozanne. It is from tissue culture, so it's a little more of an expensive plant, but it's a great plant in a bigger pot that does a repeat bloom in the garden. So certainly a winner for any consumer to have in their garden. Should be a great seller. GM Koi is a nice bright blooming orange GM that blooms in just 4 to 5 weeks from a 50 plug, and it's also available in 275 plugs. Helenium, we've replaced the taller seed variety mix that we had with Salud Embers, which is a new Darwin variety, a very compact bloom, blooms at just 16 to 18, maybe 21 inches. So good in even a 4-inch or a 6-inch or gallon pot. And also Helianthus Autumn Gold, which blooms in the fall, similar to a mum, a very vigorous plant in my garden. It is really large as far as wide. It's probably 18 inches, just planted 2.5 months ago. Several new lavender that we've added for 2019, Lavender Blue Spear. It is a very early blooming, I think the earliest, and has many blooms on it, so lots of color on that. It is a Zone 6 variety. A little bit hardier, Lavender Provence is a new addition from us. It's a vegetative variety, Zone 5. So nice new additions to the many colors of lavender that we have available on our list. New from Terra Nova, the Heuchera Forever series. Heucheras from Terra Nova are very famous for being some of the best heucheras in the nation. The Forever Red is a wonderful plant. It just glows in the landscape. The pink, the purple is very good also. This is a must try. It's an unbelievable color from spring till fall. Great variety from Terra Nova. Also new from Terra Nova, the Northern Exposure series. We've added this. This is one of the hardier varieties of Coreopsis, and Lime Ricky sometimes is a little bit weaker, especially in the northern climates. So we would recommend Northern Exposure for many of your northern customers, and we anticipate adding both of the other Northern Exposure colors next season. Hibiscus Starry Night is new from Walter's Gardens. It's a Zone 4, which is somewhat unusual. Other than the Fleming hibiscus are Zone 4, but very nice dark foliage and multicolored blooms on a plant that are sure to please. Hibiscus are mark long days, so we do recommend warm nights and long days on them to sprout them before April. New from Darwin Perennials, Iberis Snowsation, a very dwarf but vigorous Iberis. Blooms very early in just 6 to 7 weeks and is very hardy at Zone 4. So nice new addition from Darwin. New from perennials for us is Freak, a very unusual Leucanthemum that, again, similar to Rozanne, I believe is a must-have for any perennial garden. Also Sweet Daisy Sophia, a new variety from Duman Orange that has very long repeat bloom, blooms almost like an annual. New to the Louisei Elsie, adding to the Elsie mix that we've done in the past, is Ruby Red. The Elsies rebloom. So as soon as they go out of bloom in our courts in the spring, they'll shoot up new blooms. Very unusual for a lot of perennials that bloom in the spring, but the reblooming is very, very handy and popular on this Elsie Red, making it very good in the landscape and in the garden center. New from Terra Nova, Lithidora Golden Sapphires. I would say it is a mild zone 5, but definitely hardy, very hardy in zone 6. Has very unique yellow foliage with bright blue blooms on it. Sure to please, an excellent quart variety in perennials. Last year we added the Lupin Blue, Pink, and Red in the mini gallery series. This year we added the yellow to it. In our own finished production, we are actually adding or dropping all the galleries and going all to minis, just because most of our production is in 4-inch to 6-inch pots, and the bloom size on the galleries are actually very close to the mini galleries are actually almost as big bloom size as the galleries. So a great variety. They seem to bloom earlier and at a higher percentage. I would certainly recommend the gallery series for any of your customers' lupin needs on the minis. Also new in the lupins for us from West Country, must-have perennials, Gladiator, Masterpiece, Manhattan Lights, and Red Rum. These are tissue culture leucanthemum or lupins that are available in later October. They will be fertilized. They do bloom, I believe, continuously in the landscape, but they should be very popular this year. A premium item from tissue culture. New Lychnis Burning Love. This takes over from, or is an addition to, Maltese Cross, which is a nice early blooming Lychnis, but this seems to bloom earlier on a little more shorter compact plant. Also new from must-have perennials is Lychnis Petite Jenny, a zone 5, very unusual flower size and design shape on that. So a new one from must-have perennials. Two new Monarda Sugar Buzz varieties, adding to the several we already do, are Cherry Pops, which is a near red, very neat color, and Grape Gumball. Names are very important and seem to really help an item sell well. Grape Gumball and Cherry Pops are in the Buzz series are very well named, and a plant that certainly backs it up. Very good garden performance on both of those. New on the left from Darwin Perennials, Mission Bells Deep Rose is a zone 5 perennial that will bloom in not very many weeks from a 50 plug. Also on the right is Penstemon Prairie Twilight, a zone 4 Penstemon from must-have perennials in a unique bicolor color. On the left, Penstemon Blackbeard from Walters. This is limited availability on that. It will not be able to ship till January, and I do expect to run out fairly early for this year. But it's a very nice dark-colored Penstemon Blackbeard. And Perovskia Rocketman, a great new Perovskia, a little bit taller, from Walters Gardens. Several new additions of Phlox, the Sweet Seduction series. These are from Duman Orange and bloom in just 5 to 6 weeks. Very early blooming on these two Phlox. The Phlox Bambini series from Concept Plants from Holland. The left is a purple with a white eye, and my favorite, Candy Crush, on the right side. A very, very nice bicolor Phlox that seems to maintain its variegation. So a new addition that I'm sure will be popular this year. We've added 2 varieties of flames to our series, which I believe brings our total to 6. So we do, I believe, the whole series of the flames. New or reintroduction this year is the red, and new is the ruby, which is a nice dark form of that. Also, Cherry Cream is a Darwin variety, very, very nice colored white with a pink eye. That one, all of these are zone 4. New from Darwin also is the KaPow series. These are an early blooming, short to medium Phlox, pink and purple. Should be very popular, nice, easy to grow series. Platycodon Sentimental Blue has been discontinued, and in its place is Platycodon Astra Blue, which we recommend for a sub for Sentimental Blue. The sister plant of it, the pink form, is very nice. These are very heavily blooming platycodons on very compact short plants, just I believe 6 to 8 inches. Great new varieties. Pratia County Park, a Zone 5-6 variety, a nice little kind of a foot-friendly type plant. And new from Terra Nova, Pulmonaria Raspberry Splash, wonderful foliage. This is a variety from tissue culture, but it holds the spotted leaves and a bicolor mix of blooms, give Raspberry Splash a very popular status in the landscape. Zone 3 hardiness. Miniature roses from Poulsen. We have 2 additions to the Poulsen series that actually aren't miniature. Cottage Canyon is more of a shrub rose, blooms in just 9 to 10 weeks, and Pallas Louvre is in my garden, planted just 2 months, and it has not stopped blooming. It's about 20 inches high, repeat blooms, a wonderful hardy garden rose. Also, rose miniature patio hit Chantel is a new color that we've added. Very heavy blooms on this plant. It's more of a 6-inch size. It's a little bit higher, taller than some of the more miniature roses. So I recommend the patio hits for 6-inch and the parades for 4-inch. Speaking of the parade series, we've added 5 new colors to our miniature rose series from Poulsen Roses from Denmark. Poulsen, if your customers are not doing miniature roses, they really need to be. We are promoting miniature roses as a garden perennial that repeat blooms from spring till frost. And we've had great luck with these in our trial gardens and my gardens at home. New for this year is which is the best yellow in my opinion. It's a very bright yellow. My personal favorite is Santa, which is an orange rose, a very bright orange rose. When we produce these in our finished product side, the bright Santas blooming with blooms in every pot are a truly impressive plant to sell out to the garden centers in the spring. Also Milla, a neat light peach bicolor, and Way, a new variety of red that supplements Carina, one of the best reds from Poulsen Roses. So the parade series are a must try. Very, very easy to grow. New from Walter's Gardens, a couple of Salvia Bumbleberry and Bubble Sky. Bubble Sky is a very unique light blue. And from Darwin Perennials, Salvia Blue Bayou and Marble Sky Blue. The Marble series from Darwin is a wonderful series. We do the blue and the rose, so the Marble Sky Blue is an addition. But these are probably some of the best garden salvias, better than May Night. They have a rebloom, a little bit shorter, a great plant, the Marble series. New from Walters, in the Fashionista series, Midnight Model is a very dark blue salvia, and Pretty in Pink, a very nice salvia with a unique shape of the bloom, if you notice that on the right. The Fashionista series is a little bit larger plant. I would say the bumbleberries are good for quarts or gallons. The Fashionista would be 6-inch or gallons because this is a little bit bigger, taller plant. Sedum Red Wiggle has a very bright red foliage, especially in the early spring and later fall. And new from Intristic, Sedum Gold Digger, a very nice sexangular type sedum, great for quartz, very compact. New in Silene is Clifford Moore, a very unusual, highly variegated two-tone leaf that does hold its variegation, complemented by flowers in spring that bloom very quickly. Also Silene Hot Pink from Gilletto. It's a reintroduction, but the seed is now available. Again, it blooms similar to a creeping phlox in a quart in spring. Silene Hot Pink. Perennial plant of the year, Stachys Humilo, is for the perennial plant for 2019. And again, another excuse to have your customers order early. We will run out of this, I'm sure, this fall. Right now we have okay availability on it, so get them to order it. But it blooms in just 12 to 14 weeks. And new from Walters, Veronica Blue Skywalker as the name suggests, it's a little bit taller, good for gallon pots. And Veronica Royal Rembrandt, a very heavy dark blue bloom Veronica from Walter's Gardens. New from Darwin on the left, the Halo Lemon Frost, blooms in just 7 to 8 weeks, a very nice perennial viola, zone 5 with a yellow eye, and also Rebecca Cawthorn, a two-tone purple that is very striking in bloom in the spring from Dormant 50 plugs. New for this year, we have added a Duman Orange Garden Party combination. This is, Duman does quite a few of these, and we just picked one for our customers to try for this year. But they'll order one combo, and the one combo comes with 2 trays of the Gaillardia, 1 tray of the Salvia, and 2 trays of the Leucanthemum. And then 5 plugs, 1 from each of the trays, is put into a 12 to 14-inch container. And these containers are designed for the plants to bloom together, and all 3 of these varieties repeat bloom all summer long. So they're basically annualized perennials and are designed for containers. These 3 items are also available individually from us on our list as well, but new for this year. The top 30 no-brainer predictable perennials. This is always posted on our website also, but these are varieties that if any new customer should pick off this list. These are things that are very surefire, should be very impressive and have great sell-through, works in 4-inch, 6-inch, and gallons. And this is a great list for new customers and even old customers to pick off here if they aren't using these varieties. Many great varieties on here that are sure to perform from our dormant 50 plugs. Perennial labels, I think we have some of the best labeling in the industry. You have the front of the garden tag, which is for shorter varieties. Yellow is middle of the garden, and green is back of the garden. So it's kind of like gardening for dummies. Which all of us are. I use these when I'm planting my own garden. I look to see what color the tag is for where I place it in the garden. Also, purple is for shade and orange for climbing vines. Also, the icons, butterfly, hummingbirds, rock garden, deer resistant, are very important and help to sell this to consumers even when knowledgeable sales staff are not available. Shipping, we always try to select the safest and most economical method of shipping. We ship a lot of pallets in the summer to be kept from heat damage. It seems to work very well with the open summer pallets. In the winter, we prefer to ship palletized freight. Then we can keep them from being turned upside down possibly, and the shrink wrap also holds and contains some of the heat. But other than that, we will ship FedEx ground. We use FedEx ground over UPS because it is 40% of our customers are 1 day less in transit than ground UPS. So FedEx ground is the quickest, most economical way if the order is not large enough for a pallet. Generally, 40 trays now is the break from where we will ship a pallet. So at 40 trays or more, most orders go on a pallet. Less than that, they'll go FedEx ground. Also for you with customers in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, and Missouri, the Swift Grower Truck is an option that everybody loves if it's available in your area. This is delivery for $2 to $2.50 a tray, depending on the quantity and the location, and no boxes. So, and we have heaters in the trucks. So we do almost weekly delivery February and March to Michigan. So lots of deliveries being made on Swift Truck, and anytime we deliver on our truck, the orders always pick up because the freight is so reasonable. Growing recommendation sheets, these come in the box to each of your customers on every order. It's basically showing what a vernalized plug may look like. Hopefully this will keep the phone calls down to the salespeople, but don't be alarmed. This is telling them dormant looking brown foliage is normal for 50 plug shipping from January through March. Also in the box is the grow sheet for lights. This talks about the varieties that require long days. Hibiscus, Asclepias, Phlox, Echinaceas are long day perennials. This explains how the customer can light these varieties and have them come on with their other perennials. If they do not like them, they will certainly not be ready until later in the season, when the temperatures and the long days naturally are supplied to these varieties. Also, we recommend that if a customer doesn't have a lot of warm area, they can take the items that require long days with a light bulb, such as Echinacea, trumpet vine that you see here, maybe not plant them and put them next to their warmest spot with a long day, and pre-sprout these if their space is limited that's warm. Otherwise, we try to separate our long day varieties out in a greenhouse and put them on the edge. On the picture on the left, you can see the light bulbs hanging over the crops on the edge of the greenhouse that need long days. One light bulb, one 100-watt incandescent light bulb hung approximately 4 to 6 feet above the crop will light 100 trays. So you can basically light your perennials for less than $15. So money should not be an excuse. A treble light available at a hardware store, and a 24-hour timer is basically all you need. So long day, night interruption lighting, very easy to do. And again, if your customers have questions, they can call and talk to our technical services representatives, Hans and or Elaine.
For the remainder of the presentation, I'll talk about the 275s, which I'll be growing. For the 2019 year, we're adding the ghost pepper. For those of you that like extremely hot chilies, this guy's a 1 million+ Scoville units, so this guy's really intense. Great novelty addition from India. Again, it's one of those plants that you want to give to family members that you do not like, so like in-laws is a great one for that. Herb Mammoth basil, one of the largest leaf basils on the market. This guy has great cup leaves, great aroma, great for culinary cuisine in the Italian food market. Again, a great addition from them. Scott earlier mentioned the Blue Spear lavender from Keef Seed. Again, this guy is going to be a zone 6 to 8, bigger, taller flowers. Again, it's a first-year flowering. Really awesome performance, really good color, really good fragrance. Really impressed with this variety. Also from Syngenta, we have the Kirigami series. We have the deep blue and white, the mix, and the red and white. Again, it's a first-year flowering, but I feel like the cold vernalization will strengthen the bloom. That's something that's going to perform better for you. So again, great addition from them as well. The Campanula Pre-Star series. Again, this is a lot compact Campanula. Again, another one from Syngenta. First-year flowering, great color. Again, great for quartz, great for that small size container. Dianthus Supra series. Again, this is a zone 4 through 5. Great first-year flowering. Again, as you guys know probably already, purple was the 2016 All-American selection. Pink was the 2017 All-American selection. So again, pink's been rated really well with home gardeners and trial gardens.
I have pink in my garden at home that I took home from some trial plants, and it's extremely impressive blooms on this. Very nice, tight, compact foliage, full of blooms from plant to all the way to frost. And we will be adding this next year in 50s. It is a very impressive variety.
Yeah, and again in the 288s, it's done really, really well for us for growing as well. Proscia Blue Steel, again another one from Keef Seed. No vernalization required. Again, this has a lot better controlled height and habit in the landscape. You know, if pinching is optimal, it will help the branching and the chassis of this plant. But again, this one's a little bit more tougher than the other ones out there in the market. And hopefully you guys in Cultivate saw the Popstar Platycodons, an amazing plant there at the show. Compact plant, tons of blooms, great addition from Benari Seed. And again, I hope you guys pick this one up in the 275s. Just as a reminder at the end of this presentation, we just wanted to remind everybody that we use no neonicotinoid systemic insecticides on our annuals, perennials, and herbs. We want to make sure that they're thriving for pollinators and for bees as well. So again, just a reminder for everybody. As we continue with that, we are continuing our successful biological program. Every year we want to make sure we're adding the products that are going to be helping you guys in the end and being able to market that. Again, using less systemic insecticides and using more biological insecticides and biological predators. We've always improved and expanded our screening and virus testing. Anytime a new product comes in or new variety comes in, we're going to be testing these for viruses, making sure that our stock is clean and it's coming to you guys clean as well. Again, we're covering the cool cells and things like that to make sure thrips aren't coming into our greenhouses. As you're aware, the 2017 perennial plant was the Asclepias tuberosa. We, as well in the 275s, have the Hello Yellow. Again, these grow weeks, the weeks to bloom 11 to 12 on the Hello Yellow and the 10 to 11 is from the 50 plug. If you want to use the 275, you can, and let me show you real quick here. If you take 3 to 5 275 or 288 plugs into a gallon pot, in 12 weeks in that summertime, you can grow these out and have them in full bloom. So again, it is possible to program these to fill out this gallon pot, whether you use it from a 50 plug or whether you use it from a 275. And again, another example of a 275 in a gallon. Again, this is Gallery Yellow. And again, in a single, summer sale, this is what you can expect to see perform from that. On our website, I know Scott mentioned earlier, we're trying to get more information on there so you guys can have access to it. One of the things that we want to continue to develop is our first year flowering program for midsummer sales. Again, these are 288s that are put into a gallon. Some of them, there's going to be multiple plugs per gallon, and if you follow the grow weeks on that, that's kind of the expectation of when they should be in color for you. And again, we're going to be expanding this list here. Every year, it seems we add new varieties that are going to be the first year, trying to develop more selection for you guys, and having that available for you as well on our website. Again, those are all of our new varieties, and I just wanted to take a brief second here to let you guys know that we are expanding our greenhouse. 3/4 of an acre of new construction is started this early summer, and right now we have the rafters up, and we are getting ready to get gutters and a whole bunch of new addition coming soon this fall to help grow more 50 plugs and provide more product for you guys.